so, my brothers and sisters, we've been on this healing journey on Sundays. If you have joined me on Sundays, you know we've been talking about loud healers. And in this loud healers series, my brothers and sisters, I've been giving these spiritual agents, these healing agents to help us become healed in a sense, based off Galatians 5. But it dawned on me as I was sitting on my desk and preparing, amen, for the rest of the series, and not only the rest of the series, what I would say to you today, it dawned on me that I'm talking about healing, but the honest reality is that's a micro perspective in which I am dealing with, because I'm really digging into specific things that you can do to embrace your healing. But my brothers and sisters, although I think it's important to blaze this trail from a micro perspective, I think that we also need to look at it from a macro perspective. In other words, if I'm going to engage these 9 different agents from a micro perspective, how do I set myself up for this large idea of healing? How do I even prepare myself to be healed? Because I'm telling you, the agents that will heal you, but the honest reality is some of us are not prepared to be healed. And so my brothers and sisters, I was thinking about one day I had my car and my car went out for some apparent reason. I think it was a flat tire or something. And I was sick. I had to try to get to my destination. And I was just upset, feeling bad, feeling sick. Like, man, I got to get here. And I'm in this place on the street. And I just felt abandoned. But then it hit me that I had a AAA membership. I had access to a AAA membership. And so I called AAA. AAA came and fixed my problem. And then I was able to get to my destination. In other words, my brothers and sisters, my sickness was remedied or healed because I accessed AAA. My brothers and sisters, with that being said, I want to suggest to you that there is a AAA scenario that you can use for your healing. Just as I was sitting there clear as day, I believe that the Spirit gave this to me to give to you. The AAA, how to be rescued, how to set yourself up so that you can really walk into those agents in which I've been talking about. And so let me give it to you real quick. Don't want to be heavy, don't want to be long. You know, Tuesday night, it's more about inspiration. Amen. My brothers and sisters, so the AAA of healing, number one, the first A would be admit. You must admit that you're sick. How in the world can you get healed if you refuse to admit that you're sick? Look here. Time out for faking it. Faking and all that, you need to put that by the wayside. Time out trying to impress people, trying to act like that you don't need help, that you don't need to be healed, trying to act like that everything is all right, using that church language, I'm blessed and highly favored with a cherry on top. All that is good when you're trying to walk in exhortation, but the honest reality is we're trying to walk in healing. And me being your chief healing facilitator for these next several weeks, I must suggest to you that you need to admit when you're sick. Far too often, we are walking around here like we are not sick. My brothers and sisters, as I talk, I want you to think about that. I want you to think about really owning where you are in life. I cannot get to the next level if I do not, my brothers and sisters, admit that the level I'm on. So if I want to be healed, even if I'm going to be able to set myself up to engage these healing agents, I must, my brothers and sisters, admit that I am sick. AAA, number one. Second A is assess. I must assess the situation, my brothers and sisters. What happens when you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor you're sick or you're experiencing pain or in your body? What the doctor start doing? Doctor start feeling on you and saying stuff like what? Does it hurt here? Does it hurt there? What the doctor is trying to do is assess your level of pain and to identify specifically where the pain is coming from. And my brothers and sisters, after we admit that we are in need of some type of healing, the second thing we have to do, my brothers and sisters, is move into the assessing. I have to ask myself specifically, where do I hurt? Where are my pressure points? Where are my hurting points? Where are my wounds? I cannot, my brothers and sisters, surgically, spiritually repair my wounds if I don't know where they're at. If it's some emotional issue, some family issue, some financial issue, some relation issue, some issue of depression, wherever the hurt, wherever the pain is, I have to assess it. And if I'm going to assess it, I've got to locate it. My brothers and sisters, tonight tonight, or in the days to come, I want you to assess your pain areas. So I have the first A is omit. I have the second area is assess. And then the third one, like I said, I don't like to be heavy. The triple A, I want to help you because this is helping us on our healing journey. I must acquire. What must I acquire? It is time now to acquire the tools that's going to help me be healed. Yes, if I admit it, I'm at step one. Yes, if I assess the pain areas, I'm at step two. But what do doctors do? They begin, after they find out what your pain is, they begin to prescribe, my brothers and sisters, medication or perform procedures that is formulated to relieve you or provide aid for you in terms of your sickness. And so what are you going to acquire to be healed? My brothers and sisters, of course, our spiritual healing series entitled Loud Healers. I would admonish you to embrace it, to join us on Sundays, but not only join us Sunday, go back on YouTube and look at it and use that. But not only that, some of us need to embrace outside help in terms of therapists. Get you someone who you can talk to. Some of us, my brothers and sisters, need to engage the spirit a little more because we are spiritually sick. And I talked to my Connect group last week. Eric Johnson was in our Connect group and he brought up a topic of spiritual warfare, and we was talking about spiritual warfare, the importance in understanding that every believer is a candidate for spiritual warfare. So some of you are not going through mental illness, you're going through or emotional illness, you're going through spiritual illness. And so you need to read scripture or read stuff that's going to help you with spiritual warfare. Watch what you put in your spirit. Watch the songs that you listen to and the things that you engage. You must acquire the tools, and the tools can come from sermons, the tools can come from things like books, the tools can come from lectures, the tools can come from, my brothers and sisters, professional help. Triple A, get you some. You must admit, my brothers and sisters, you must assess, and then you must acquire. God bless you.